Okay, I think it was yesterday or the day before. It was probably yesterday. I don't remember. But I had recorded, but it was just too dark. I just was like, oh my God, I sound like such a downer. I could today. I don't even know. It is still just so dreary around here. It just is got this energy. It's just really heavy. And like the past 5 or 6 days or something, I have felt such this weird kind of like anxiety or something, like super anxious, which I don't normally get anxious. And this like sense of dread. It's like horrible. And it isn't like you can shake it, like when you just feel like, oh, I'm in a bad mood, I'm gonna just turn on some music and dance around. No, it's not like you can shake it like that. It's fucking horrible. It is like that day when I was feeling somebody around me suicidal. I could just feel it, I could sense it, I could hear it, I could feel it in my bones. And I was right, but this is going on and on and on. And I'm not asking anybody this time. I'm just like, okay, I just gotta ride this out because I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's something with the moon cycles, if it's something with the collective. There's something in my neighborhood. If I'm picking up on a neighbor, like, I don't know. But anyways, today I felt better when I got up. But the last few days, it's been, oh my God, it's been rough just to get through the days. And, talking about it because we just all have to, just keep fighting, keep pulling through. Even when everything that is coming at you is just so defeating and such a downer, just, you just got to keep holding on, even if it's just holding on to a thread at this point. And it feels like that. It feels like we're just holding on by the skin of our teeth. Like, oh my God, how horrible this is. And it's so crazy too, because I have, I have certain people in my family who are just freaking setting off mines all over the place, just atom bombs, just going and going. And other people are being impacted, but the person who is setting them off isn't being, well, I mean, I would assume they're probably being impacted, but you would think it would be a different kind of outcome or something. But I just feel like there's just so many people who are in such denial of being able to see the truth. They don't want to see it. They're going to hold on to everything they can to not see the truth. And, everything I turn on is just constantly shoving the truth down my throat. Like, there's no getting away from the truth to me. I started watching this old movie this morning. It was, if you are older, you know who Stacy Keach is. And he has a channel and he's always playing like these old movies, like from his kind of era. So a lot of like the 70s kind of shows. He has the Blue Night. He has a lot of old shows. But a lot of the people in his movies are people who were popular in the 70s. Like, he's just doing a lot of movies that were popular. And so this one that I put on this morning, it was Lindsay Wagner. And I had never noticed. I mean, I remember when she was in The Bionic Woman, but I had never noticed how pretty she was. Man, she was really, really pretty. And she still is really pretty. Because when I'm watching something, I always start Googling and looking up, like, how old are these people now? What, start looking up facts about them. That's the best thing to me about Google. And you can do research about things that you're watching or learning about or looking up into. But the thing is a lot of stuff on Google is lies. I mean, it's manipulation. So, you have to take it with a grain of salt. But in this movie, which it also had Michelle Pfeiffer as a super young person. I mean, this, I would think, had to be one of her first roles or something. She was super young. And it's just so funny to see these people who've had a long career, and you see them in the very beginning of their career. It's funny because they just look like such little kids. but she was probably 20, but she just looked super young. And she, I don't know how she talks now, but she was like really high pitched, excited voice. It was really, I don't know, it was just funny to see. And then, there were some more people who I recognized, and there's something, I don't know, being older, it kind of gives you some sort of peace or something to see some of these old things, old movies, and the people that we grew up on. I swear to God, I can watch something and like an old woman who I always thought was so cool when I was a kid, she can come on and be like, "Aw," it just gives me like this warm feeling, like, "Oh, I always liked her." So I'm enjoying the old movies. But, I mean, there's so much disclosure all the time. And one of the things in this one was about newspaper people and powerful people, and how powerful people who have control, because the newspaper is our information, right? And so they have control over the climate of the city, kind of like the general mood. Like they can put out information to steer it in the direction they want. And how many of these powerful people raise their children to go into politics or law to create the environment that they want? And I was thinking while I was watching this, because it's so important to them, you know, their child has to be a senator or a district attorney or whatever, you know, it's like the mafia, you know, we got to get somebody in there so that we have somebody who can work the system for us from the inside. And they've all been doing this. But what's weird is how important it is to them. Like, I don't think for the general populace, I don't think that any of us sit around like, okay, if you go and you run for governor and then you run for senator and then you become a lawyer, you know, like scheming how to create this world that is not, I mean, they want to control other people. Like they want control of other people and they want to make loopholes for themselves. And I just don't think a lot of, like, I remember when I was talking to one of my daughters and she's like, "Oh, I really love animals. I think I want to be a vet." I was like, "Oh, hell yeah, go be a vet. God, that would really save our family some money. You know, you be a vet, then we always have somebody who can see our animals." And because everybody has a dog or a cat or something. And I think that's more of how most of us are. We're not thinking about like, "Oh, yeah, we're going to get somebody in there and we're going to take control of the town and stuff." You know, it's like a certain kind of person that feels that drive. Because I think most of us just want to go and live our lives. We don't want to try and control other people's lives and control what goes on in their lives. So I thought that was, you know, a lot of disclosure, because it's very true. That is how those people work. And, you know, there's always murder and drama, and because that is what they're kind of about, you know. The murder, the drama, the control, greed. And there was another thing too that was, I wanted to make a point about that. I can't remember. But see, this is how it's been for 5 or 7 days, is like super, super scattered. Like I can't, that's why when I started recording the other day, I didn't even post it. It was like, I can't even, I mean, I'm bad enough normally, but I am just, I can't keep my thoughts straight or something. I can't stay centered or something. Like everything feels like it's pulling. And, you know, I'm hoping, because that one lady who I'd seen, which I looked it up too, that lady Duchovna or whatever, that is a different channel. So this girl who had that channel was just sharing this other girl's post, because that's not her regular channel. So I can't remember this other girl's regular channel, but I'm pretty sure that she's Russian or something. She's definitely from somewhere in Eastern Europe, and because you can tell by the accent, but she could be like Polish or something, I'm not sure. But anyways, the one that does the astrology, she does a whole bunch of different kind of, I think she does predictions off of astrology. I'm not really sure because I don't follow her like that, but I've seen her talk a couple times. But when she was talking the other day about this big alignment that's coming up, that is going to be super dramatic, that it's going to be like the bad thing that I keep talking about, like something big and bad is going to happen to get everybody's attention, to put everybody on the same page. I mean, then we could have a few people who are still in deep denial. I mean, we can't really control that. But something big is coming for sure. And she was talking about that happening in the first week of April. And so if the planets are aligning in a certain way, you know, I mean, it would make sense that it would have this this weird energy that's coming through on the planet, because we're connected. We're all connected to all things in nature because we're a part of it. So, and oh, I had this kind of realization too about something else yesterday. I don't remember what it was. That gave me this one, but it was why it is that they feel that they can go in and experiment on us. And it is because they know that we were experiment in the beginning. These avatars were experiment from the very beginning. And so the people who know, who are in control, they feel like it's okay. We're fair game that they can experiment on us and, you know, and not tell us, because, I mean, the truth hasn't been out there you have to go dig deep to find the truth. And most people don't know the truth. Most people think very different about this planet and this world than what it truly is. So anyways, I think that is where they find their little loopholes and stuff. But yesterday I went on TikTok for a little while because I was like, okay, I'm trying to figure out, like, is there something going on in the planet? Am I picking up on something? Like, why do I feel like this? This is so weird. I can't shake it. And when I went on TikTok, I saw like one guy, he went out to go for a walk in the morning. He said he went really early in the morning, which was odd, but he felt very pushed to go. And he said the minute he was out walking, somebody dropped dead in front of him. So he started doing CPR, called 911. An ambulance came and picked up that person, which he had to do CPR until the ambulance got there. And then he was like all flustered and he had to go keep walking his dog. So he continued his walk, and within 10 minutes, another person dropped dead in front of him, and he had to do CPR and had call for an ambulance. And he was like, I don't know what's going on, but people are just dropping dead in the streets. Like, what the hell is happening? And then he started talking about the frequency. And he said, there's something weird going on with the frequency around me. And I don't know where he was at, but he was talking about the frequency. And I keep talking about the frequency up here because they're definitely doing something with frequency as kind of a weapon on our minds. And so I was like, man, because I've been having so much with the frequency, maybe it is something with the frequency and they're turning it up to give us this scattered kind of feeling. And dark energy, I've really noticed, can penetrate. I was meditating and I was trying to be like, what in the hell is going on? This is so weird. And I started seeing all of these big dark things all around me. And I was like, oh, there's just dark energy everywhere. So you have to really be on top of like realizing the dark energy and what we're under attack from. And it is, I mean, some people, they want to come up with, you know, devils and demons and stuff like that. It's just, most of it is just dark energy that doesn't have any consciousness of itself. It's just an energy. It's just an energy out there looking for something to attach to. And this dark energy is, you know, it's going to surround places where there's a lot of darkness happening, depression, sadness, fighting, arrogance, anger, all of that stuff is attracted because it's looking for something to attach to. So we have a lot of that kind of energy around all the time. So that is why it's really important to be aware of it so that you can, you know, do clearings or whatever. You know, you can do clearings, you can command energy to dissipate, to move out of your space. You can transmute energy. Like, you have to have awareness of it, and then look into it and see like what would be the best thing that I feel comfortable with. Because I could go through and explain a bunch of stuff and it could sound all, hokey. You have to go and find what works for you. Because I've heard other people's stuff that they do, and I think, you don't have to do all that. Write it down, put candles, put wax, burn it, blah. I'm like, I don't think you have to do all that. So anyways, you just got to kind of tune into yourself and see. But be aware, there is a lot of dark energy around for sure. And one thing too, in the comments of that guy's post, there was just so much of this, oh, welcome to the spiritual world. It's like they are turning the spiritual journey into a dime store, a sideshow or something. This isn't like a fun and games kind of thing. This is deep introspection and growth for a soul to ascend to a higher level. Like, this isn't like a joke or something. This is real, and this is happening right now for people. And so, that's why I said that there's just so many people who are misdirected. Even the spiritual journey has become kind of a joke, but it is real, and it is like connecting with your soul will find your path to self. So, that was one of the things, but there was something else. I've seen when I was looking on TikTok, there was so many people disclosing stuff. Like, people are seeing through things. There's no doubt about it. People are seeing stuff, and in disclosing stuff, people are realizing that we're being poisoned in all of our food, the air, the water. People are beginning to really realize why we're sick and what's going on, and that they're not trying to save us. They don't care about your health. They are working on destroying your health. And it's all because, they make money off of us being sick. And so they want us to be sick because they are, creating this abundance for themselves, draining us of our energy and taking from us, and, just creating confusion. And there was another thing I wanted to say. I have so many things coming into my head. So I also yesterday, this was really kind of trippy, was because I have this, I have a bunch of pairs of glasses, but I had this one pair, and I remember having it on, and I was sitting here and I was crocheting, and then all of a sudden I couldn't find my glasses anymore, and I've been looking for them and looking for them. I've dug down in the chair, I've gotten all my yarn stuff out, I've gone through the boxes of yarn, I've been just going everywhere looking like, where in the hell did I put these glasses? And I kept hearing, just like when they were showing me it was inside of something, when I was looking for that painting, they kept showing me it's inside something. Usually when they tell me where something is, it's really obvious. They'll say, oh, it's in your room, under your bed, go look. And I'll do that, and it will be there. And if I don't catch on, usually it will be something, I'll drop something, and then I'll reach down to pick it up, and then I'll see it, and it's right there. Hold on, she's having a really bad time still. But so I kept hearing him say that it was in the chair, and I kept digging in the chair, digging in the chair, digging in the other chair, which, man, I'm really missing the other chair. This chair kind of drives me crazy now. So they had put it in my head, well, just move this chair, bring the other chair out. And so when I was moving this chair, I was going to take the top, because a recliner, the two pieces come apart. So you can undo these little clips in the back, and this top part comes off of the bottom part. And so I lifted up the back thing to do that, and there's my glasses just sitting right there. I was like, oh my God. And they told me they were in the chair, but that's what they'll do. They'll put something in my head, and then I'll go do it, and then there it is. So sometimes, yeah, I don't know how it is that, that I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. I swear to God, this is how scattered I feel. I'm really looking forward to this shift happening, because this is like heavy, heavy energy. And it was very concerning when that guy was talking about people are just dropping dead in the street, and I'm stay more at home, which I decided, I kept feeling like, I gotta get out of here, gotta get out of here, gotta get out of here. And then I started thinking, why don't I go down south in the summer? That would be horrible. I want to stay here, get this place ready to start renting and get it set up for ski season. And then at the end of summer, probably just go ahead and take off and go down south and try and find some place to hang out instead of being here for another dastardly winter, even though that they have created such bad winters all over the country. That's the thing. There's no good place to go. We don't have any safe place to be. I mean, every place is under some sort of attack. So, but I do think I'm going to stay here for the summer. But who knows? I mean, anything could happen. I mean, a freaking volcano could go off. I mean, Mount St. Helens could go again, for all I know. I mean, they're doing everything they can to create so much chaos. And, there's some more things I had seen too. Yeah, about something else. Oh, I can't remember. I feel just like completely scattered about everything. I can't. This has been a hard week. Like, this is a challenge. Like, I would have just been like, I'm not even going to talk. Then I thought, oh, well, I've got a couple people who they're probably having a hard time too. So they probably need to hear like, hey, you're not alone. You're not the only one having a hard time. This is really a struggle for the people who are awake. The people who are asleep are struggling, but in a different kind of way. The people who are awake, it's a different kind of struggle. And the people who are working on their healing and stuff, it's a lot. So, you just got to keep on holding on and keep, just try and keep your head above water, because, you can just feel pulled down and drowning at this point, and it is very scary, if that's the bad thing that's coming. Like, I don't know, are they going to turn on the towers and all of a sudden half the people are going to drop? I mean, that's been one of the conspiracy theories that has been being thrown around for, I don't know, since the beginning of 2020 is when I started hearing it. I don't know. It's pretty scary, though. And then plus how many people said that all of these people are going to just all of a sudden drop dead. I don't know. It's not something I want to think about or give energy to, obviously, since it's most of my family. And this is just a very trying time. This is a hard time in human history, but we will get through it, and we will conquer, and we will make this world a better place, and the darkness will be defeated. And we don't have to go out and do anything dramatic. We just have to keep our spirits up. We have to not let them win our heart and soul. We have to know the truth and see through the illusion, and all of it will fall apart. And it's gonna fall apart. We don't have to do anything big. Like, you go in and watch some of these people, and I put on David Rodriguez. He's popped up a couple times live, and I've put him on a couple times. The other day, I was like, nope, I'm unfollowing you. Nope, I can't do it anymore. He just went off on spiritual people, and we're idiots. Like, if we think that the universe and energy and stuff like that, I'm like, dude, oh my God, okay, you go wait for Jesus. Let me know how that works out for you. But so many people like him, they're so caught up in the stuff, you know? That's why I said, like, they're holding on, like, this has to happen. Oh, it's got to do this, you know? And, yeah, I mean, he gets so worked up that he really seems like he's going to give himself a heart attack or something. You know, I don't know. Oh, what was that? Oh, yeah, there's all these people too who are famous people who are dropping dead. And that, you know, these famous people, especially when they've come outspoken, I guess like the Foo Fighters, they said nobody could come to a concert unless they had done that. And then the drummer, I guess, dropped dead the other day, just out of the blue. Like, I know. She even does more than that. Like some of the stuff she says, oh, like I can really hear her, like what she's trying to tell me. It's so cute. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I don't really have that much to talk about anyways. I just wanted to kind of say, you know, everything is out there for us all to see. You know what I mean? There's no denying it. If people are in denial at this point, then they're not paying attention. And this is all about us having to heal and take command of our own lives, and about us claiming sovereignty. Oh, that was another thing too. I saw a guy on TikTok and he was going through a whole long thing, part after part after part. I watched a few parts, but I knew the stuff he was talking about, so I didn't keep watching it. But he was talking about maritime law and our birth certificates and the numbers and what they did and the bankers and stuff. Like, you can go look that stuff up because that is really significant. And that is where everything is going to switch back. Like all of this stuff that they've been doing on our numbers, trading and stuff like that. Like, we're all have some sort of value as a number, as a number. Because it's all in there. They just play games. I mean, every freaking thing is a game with them. And in the 30s is when they started doing it, I guess, trading our numbers. And it has something to do with, you have to have somebody else explain it. So look it up. It is very interesting. But there is so much stuff that is going to be coming out. So much truth is coming out for us. So you just, you know, need to pay attention so that you can detach yourself from this illusion of a reality, because it is not, it isn't even real. Everything in their reality is fake and phony, and we've all just been living like it's real. That was another thing too. I saw yesterday, another movie I put on, and it was showing how the news had, they didn't have any integrity, that they cover it up. They give the story that they want. That was a completely different, on totally different channel, and was not expecting either of those movies to be about. All the movies I've been putting on lately, I think they're about something else. And then it starts telling me all of this other stuff. And then they all go like bumper to bumper on their information. So, you know, I don't know if, I would think that everybody is getting the same kind of stuff. Everything is being disclosed to us. You just have to be paying attention. You just have to recognize, like, the movies aren't for our entertainment. They are disclosure. They are for programming. They're to control us. When you start seeing through it, it gives you such a deeper understanding. And another thing too, I'll say this before I go. This was something that I thought was super significant for a lot of people, because so many people who are young right now, they think like this is always how the world has been. They don't understand how different the world used to be and how much it keeps changing all the time. But in this movie with the Lindsay Wagner, it showed her when she was young and she had gotten pregnant, and then she went in to have the baby, and somebody else had paid for her medical, so therefore they were going to get to keep her baby. So they made her give her baby to these people, and then they gave her a check, you know, to send her on her way. And that's the thing, is people don't realize what the world was like. Like, people who were adopted, given up for adoption way back then, they think like it's like nowadays. No, it was very different. There was a lot of pressure. There was a lot of, a woman, you weren't given opportunities. If you were a single mom and you had had sex and you didn't have a husband, you were shameful. There was so much rules by religion. Religion ruled the world. Like she was going to go stay at another house, and the woman is going to show around. This is after they already took her baby. She was super depressed. She left and she went somewhere, and it was kind of like what I would think a halfway house, where a bunch of single women rent rooms. And the woman who's renting out the rooms to these girls is telling them all the rules. And it's all, Christian rules, these Christian rules. And that's the thing, is like there was so many restrictions and rules and parameters that were identified by religion and stuff back, what people have been breaking free from generation after generation after generation. Like this has been going on. So the things that you are happening now that you think, oh, well, that's how it was back then. Like a girl just, she just decided it was inconvenient to have a kid. No, it wasn't like that at all. Women were pressured. Their kids were taken away from them. It was very limiting ways of living for women. I mean, there's times when, a woman would be thrown out if she didn't have a man, If you didn't have family or somebody to take care of you, then you would be on the streets. People just, it was just very different. I mean, there's some things where people were a lot nicer to each other, but there is also the part where there was very, very strict rules. Like if you didn't follow the rules, you would be, pushed away. I mean, it wouldn't matter what people, if they liked you or not. If the rest of the group said, oh no, that person had an illegitimate child, a bastard, then you would be, the big scarlet letter. And this was just in the 60s in the South. And, it's true how it was back then with the rules and the stuff that people had to try and go against, to do something against the grain. Like things are a lot easier now. It wasn't that easy. It was like a little tiny change. And that is also like the ship of change. It doesn't go quick. It doesn't turn quick in the water. A ship has to move slowly and make a big turn. And so all of these things that have happened have been slowly changing. And these people, like they've got these generations right now who have this completely, it's like a disillusioned kind of idea of what the world was. Like the world is nothing like what you think it was. That's all like in their fantasy of how they think it was and how people were. And these ones where, this new generation. I'm so sick of being this stuff about the boomers. Like it is, boomers are like the white men of the generations. The boomers, they're the problem. The boomers are the problem. Whoever's creating division, that's the problem. So I don't know, but it's for each person to get straight in their mind and in their heart and live up to the truth. Does it make sense? Like to be divided like this, generation after generation? Like, why can't you see? Why can't you look at the history and see what has really been transpiring over these decades? There's big change that has been happening. I mean, a woman can have a child now out of wedlock. She can go raise that child if she wants to. She's got power to do what she wants with her life. There still could be some limitations in, other parameters of what she's trying to accomplish. but there still is huge change that has occurred. But anybody who was adopted who thinks like, oh, their mom just made a quick and easy choice. No, there's a lot of pressure put on women then. A lot of pressure, especially if your mom was like a kid who was 13, 14, 15 years old. She wouldn't have had a choice over giving you up. It would have been, she would have been told what was going to happen. And I was saying, people don't realize how strict houses were, how strict families were, how much the Bible was controlling our environment, you know, and we've been breaking free from those constrictions, those rules for a long time, of being able to say, you know, I'm not, and there's such a difference of not living by the rules of the Bible and not living, because that's like the rules of somebody else. I mean, it's not, I don't know. I could just go off and keep on going and going and going about the whole thing with the rules and the Bible and really God's law. Because God's law is inside, it's in your DNA, it's inside of you. You just have to connect to it. You don't need a book of rules. We don't need a governing force to restrict us and tell us how to live. And they've wanted us to accept it. And for generations and generations, it was accepted. And we're breaking free from that right now. And it's a huge one. It's a huge one. I mean, you got people who, you know, are clearly waiting for Jesus to come and save them. So anyways, it's up to each of us to save ourselves and make the change that we want on this planet. You know, there's nobody coming down to do it for us. It's up to us to do this. It's up to us to keep our head above water. It's up to us to fight and hold on to hope, because that's all we got. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.